Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast, where we are covering Love Island UK Season 7, Episode 26. Now, Chris, we're in Casa Amor, and I've got to say, this is the worst advert for blokes there has been on the planet. What did you reckon to tonight?
Oh, God, Dave. Unbelievable. I mean, to be fair, not necessarily digging the blokes out straight away, but Chloe goes on this date with Dale, doesn't she? Who Hennessy had said in Discord, he looks a bit like Conor McGregor, which I thought that. Conor McGregor, Gerard Butler. He's got fucking teeth, Dave. If they ever started mining again, Jesus Christ, you're not going to get lost with them puppies. They are whiter than white, them teeth. But
the old Ross teeth.
The Ross teeth, yeah, that's what Sam said tonight. She said, yeah, he's like the episode of Friends. And they are proper veneers, good luck to him. But I will say that Chloe, I don't know whether she was pissed or what. I can't understand the words she was saying when she was chatting. She was going, oh, yeah, all right. It sounds like fucking Norman Wisdom when she was talking. I was like, what are you doing? It's a Grimsdale. I was like, what the fuck is she talking? I couldn't understand a word she was saying, Dave. And I said to Sam, is she pissed or what? She went, I don't know. It might be like when she gets a bit nervous or something, but I couldn't understand a fucking word she was saying, Dave.
I don't know. I didn't particularly notice that. I noticed, you've got this guy, he's well put together. He's got all the tattoos and everything. He's got chiseled jaw. He's got the shiny white teeth, good looking bloke. And she keeps going on about his chains that he's got. And it's like, look, surely there's superficial and then there's that, It just seemed odd to me that out of everything, I mean, she's in a friendship couple with Hugo. She should just be filling her boots, getting to know everyone. And, I just found it really odd that she was almost repulsed by the chains, given everything else about him.
Yeah. And you know what though, Dave, as well, like when you're watching it all, you're sort of like, what's going on? What's like, the situation with this, is any of this genuine? And just slightly getting back to what you said, Jake, Dave, I've got big issues with Jake. You're right about the boys. Jake is doing the snakiest politician moves I have ever seen. He is the friend on holiday, and you can see it here, who wants you to cheat on your missus, Dave. He's like, oh, nobody will know, and then goes back and tells everyone that you were cheating on it.
Yeah.
He's done a number on Teddy, he's done a number on Liam, and then obviously he goes in the diary room and says about Toby. He went, I really love Toby, but his head's going to turn. And I'm like, wow, mate, you are a fucking little fuck you. No wonder he is desperate for that 50K, Dave, 100%.
We've been waiting for him to cheat. And then, but over the last few days, we have been saying that it does seem like he is playing that game. He's encouraging the other lads to all go out, and have their heads turned and do whatever. And it's like, this game he's playing to really go for it and get the 50K and ultimately win. The win in Love Island is probably a bigger accolade than the actual money itself, isn't it? But it does seem to be a quite transparent game now, doesn't it? He's just basically telling the lads to go for it. I do think he might have messed up a little bit, with the game. So shortest guy kissed the shortest girl, and they won the challenge. And you can see he's got that fire in him. He's got that competitiveness, which again, I think might be driving him for that 50K. You can see it. He doesn't want to lose at any cost. So even though he knows if he wins the challenge, the other Villa are going to bloody find out, he still can't help himself. He still wants to win that game. And obviously Liberty's not happy about it.
No, and there's a couple of David Brent moments I want to bring up about him a bit late with the game, actually, Dave. Brilliant. But his comment about Toby, Dave, fucking Toby is just on an all-inclusive fucking Beano, innit? This guy does not give a fuck. When they were talking and he's going, and he's talking with the girls there, and Toby's chatting to Mary, and he's like, well, actually, I've only been with Abby for 1 day because 3 days we were talking about Chloe. And I'm like,
oh, you
wow,
fucking snaky fucker.
Wow,
honestly.
mate.
I love that. I think, was that Jake he was with as well, where he got asked the question, didn't he? And then he was saying 1, and then I'm sure it was Jake who said 4, but they said it at the same time. It's like, yeah, well, we were speaking for all the other time. It's like, oh, you have got to be kidding me. I mean, he was making her a coffee after he'd picked her in the recoupling. So is he counting that day? I'm assuming he is, and he's discounting everything that went before.
I think so. It was a classic cheating line, though, wasn't it, Dave? Like, I'm going to justify my actions and I'm leaving the door open. And even Toby, he's smiling. He's going, yeah, let's do it in the bed. Let's this. And I'm like, wow, mate, you don't get it. And then poor Abby, and I've given Abby stick saying she's going to do the same. And she's like, oh, no. And she basically friend zones them 2 guys. It's like, no. If he comes back with someone, then we'll talk. And I'm thinking, Abby, it'll be too late for you then. You'll be out if he's with someone. Yeah. So I don't think she's read the game very well there, Dave.
No, and we'd said she was, she looked like she was a good game player. Because she'd come in, she'd gone after Toby, she kept herself in the villa. Georgia got booted out. Well done, Abby. But, she's going to couple up with someone in the villa who, the Castle Royale thing, and then, she'll fuck Toby off. But, whether it's part of her game plan, to be faithful. But, I mean, Toby, he's got a permanent shit-eating grin on him, hasn't he? And he kind of... I keep going back to the in-betweeners, Chris, but there's a moment in the first movie where Neil, he's with this girl, and all the way through, the movie, he's been saying he's got a girlfriend back home, and this girl says, no, we've got to stop doing this because your girlfriend. What if she saw us right now? And it's like, oh no, she dumped me. She said my dancing was shit. She just texted me and stuff, and and the girl goes, oh, Neil, is that true? And he goes, yeah. And then just before he goes in for the kiss, he goes, if you like. And that is fucking Toby, isn't it? He just doesn't give a shit. But he's having the time of his life, isn't he? He's just not bothered in this moment. There will be a point when, everything comes home to roost, but that is not now for Toby, and he's just having a great time.
He is, to be fair, and I say he was having a good time as well, Dave. Liam, I'm disappointed in Liam, Dave. I think that Millie is better looking than Lily, and they've had this relationship, but he's been an absolute bellend, and he's fucking straight in with his Lily. I'm not. Yeah. It is what it is. I think she's probably around his same age as him. She's made a complete play for him. She's not completely, and I respect that. But the fact that she's dead up front, I want you. You know what I mean? He's none of this skating around the houses or anything. I get that. That is what this game's about. Make your decision whether it's fake or not. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be with you. And his head is turning big time and constantly. I thought they were going to kiss at one point tonight. I really did. I'm shocked that he has turned so much. He was sort of saying, well, we've been together 2 weeks and blah, blah, and still Millie. But then she's like, well, what about me? I think, and he's like, well, actually, and I'm like, wow, he's literally just taking the piss now, which is great for TV, Dave, but not for that relationship.
No, and I don't know, am I surprised or not? I mean, he's got no fucking chat, but ultimately, he's 6'6", apparently. Even though when they gave him the tallest boy thing, I'm still like, yeah, I'm still pretty sure Tyler's taller than you, but okay.
Yeah.
But he got up for the challenge. I don't know. And I said that all of the conversation between him and Millie, it's all just, it's about how much they like each other. That is the subject. That is the only thing they can talk about. And that's great when you first get to know someone. But I'd never seen them talk about really anything else apart from that ridiculous thing about languages, and when she called out the Latin motto and he's like, oh, I don't know, is it Spanish, Welsh, Spanish, German, Italian, whatever. It's just disappointing, really, isn't it? I mean, they did seem, Millie and Liam, to be growing that chemistry to become something else that was beyond just the sexual attraction. But now he's just a one-trick pony, isn't he? Sees a fucking pretty girl, and then that's it. He's straight in there because he hasn't taken much convincing. He's not put up much of a fight at all, has he?
No, Dave. It's like, would you like to get in bed with me? Not. Oh, go on then. Yeah, no problem. He is not giving a fuck about Millie, and that poor girl's absolutely panicking, isn't she? She knows he's going to do it to her.
Yeah, and you know, Chris, I gotta say, slightly embarrassed to be a bloke watching it tonight when all the girls are out on the day beds.
Oh,
and all the new blokes are in the fucking villa in the nice comfy beds. Well, that's one bad thing to start off with. It's like, guys, you're the fucking guests kind of thing. You know, just give up your bed, you fucking twat. But also in Casa Amor as well. It's like, all right, you've got, I think Jake and Teddy stayed outside, didn't they? But everyone else was quite happy to go in and couple up. Like you say, I'm sure there was a bit of spooning with Liam and is it Lily? Yeah, I'm still getting used to these new names, and you know, it's just like I say, it's just the worst advert for blokes at the minute.
Oh my god! You know what, Dave? I wanted to talk about something quite serious as well. That not serious for the podcast, but something that I think we've not addressed, and I think it needs addressing the more this goes on. So we've been. This is my take on this. I know I've not prepped you on this, but Hugo obviously again goes with this Amy. She's not interested, Dave. She's giving him a little bit of something, but she tried it on with Tyler, and Tyler, you know, he's all up for this. Carice, is it Carice, the girl with the brown hair? She's put it on Teddy. She then sort of puts on Tyler. Do you think, Dave, and this will never be admitted, this, and nobody's ever going to say anything, it's great with the diversity shoot. Do you think a lot of these girls can't get past his disability? And that's why he's not having the success he thinks he is. I know he's very awkward, and we've dug him out because of what he did with Toby and there is justification for his actions. But I do think that there is something there, that they're all pretending that they like him and stuff like that. But I don't know whether it's a massive discussion. I've not seen a lot of it online, but the more I see with Hugo, the more I'm coming around to thinking that there is some sort of not discrimination, but some conscious thing where they just don't want to take him up, and I don't know why.
It's only like clubfoot, isn't it? It's not like he's wheeling in there like Stephen Hawking. You know what I mean? It's fuck. It's like it's clubfoot, isn't it? Sorry, that probably sounds worse.
What the fuck?
Sorry. You know what I mean, though? In retrospect, that sounds terrible. You know what I mean? It's not like a massive disability that he's got. He's got fucking clubfoot. He's still a great looking bloke. He's got a great body.
Yeah, I know he has. I know. I'm just saying though, as a point of reference, is that something that needs to be discussed? Obviously, fucking not, Dave. Let's move on anyway.
What I'm saying is, it's not like a big obvious thing that the girls are going to shy away from.
Yeah. No, I don't think he. Honestly.
Sorry, I've thrown you off there. I wasn't trying to be a smart ass there. I was just so I don't know. I think if you look at he's sort of a skinny lad, isn't he? And you know, I'm not sure actually the haircut does him any favors. That haircut seems to spring up over the last week.
Yeah,
I think it makes him look a bit more goofy, if I'm honest. So I don't know. I think
anyway. Moving on. Fucking podcast has got here. Right. So I want to talk about Tyler, Dave, as well. There's been rumblings with Tyler that he's going to do bits, and straight away he's not going to be with Kaz. I am going to be surprised if he walks through that Villa door and they go back in, because this Carice's put it on him. She obviously wants a bit of Teddy. He's not really interested. He is and he isn't. He's like, you're a really pretty girl. She really puts it on him anyway. She's really upfront, which I love as a contestant. I love Alan. Brilliant. She's a really pretty girl. She's got everything going on. And then she went to Tyler then. And I think he could do bits there, Dave. I think Kaz is going to get a rude awakening.
Yeah. And the editors are such bastards, aren't they? Because you've got like Kaz is across there in the Villa saying she really, 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 really likes Tyler. It's like, oh, fucking hell. But they had great chemistry. But we'd said early on that, he's made the same play as Abby. He's just gone in. He's gone after one person who is, gettable. He's stayed in the Villa, made it to Casa Amor. And had they been together a week? I don't think it was a week.
No.
So, I mean, actually, did he come in? He came in with Abby, didn't he? So it must be the 4 days again that
same
Jake
thing,
was
yeah.
talking about. So they've been together 4 days. I don't know. It's going to be disappointing. Obviously, Kaz is going to be distraught. She really likes him, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's 4 days at the end of the day, isn't it? So it's not going to be the greatest shock if his head's turned.
No, it's not. I agree with that. I agree. And one last thing on Teddy. I know he got interested, but he did sort of say to Carice as well, well, I am technically single.
That was a bit weird,
and I'm like,
wasn't it?
that was a bit of a get out of jail card. I think he would, but he knows the repercussions of his popularity, maybe aware of the show. As soon as you do something like this, there's only one way to go, Dave, and that's usually out, because you become so unpopular, especially this far into the game. I know he doesn't know the public perception, but he's well received out there. So that's going to be an interesting play.
See, the problem is, and I know Hennessy had said about, like, if Faye stays coupled with Teddy, she'll get voted out. And unfortunately, they were in the bottom 2 most popular couples, weren't they?
Yes.
So I think Teddy is my favourite bloke. I'm pretty sure he's yours as well, because he's just the only one who acts like a man as opposed to a boy, like a kid in a sweet shop. So I don't know. He comes across to me like he is a genuine nice guy, but I did think it was a bit out of character. The defences were crumbling, Chris. To keep it with the football analogy, the defence is showing a few cracks, I think, there at the back. And I still think he'll be faithful, but that whole single line was just throwing out a bit of a breadcrumb, wasn't it? It's like, look, don't just stay there, carry on talking to me, because, don't think you're wasting your time and go off and speak to someone else. He is kind of interested.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is. I mean, look, I know obviously we've talked about all that, Dave, but let's get on to the game. The Saucy Game, the really saucy game that they play, where the Villa goes up against Casa Amor. And obviously, I've got a question, Dave, my kissing style. Now, obviously, Sam may rate me out of 10, Dave. Hopefully it's 11. Some of the fucking kissing going on here, they're literally fucking sucking their faces off. It was like they're being attacked by a fish or something, especially Liam and I think it was Lily. That was horrendous at one point. It was fucking nonsense, that kiss for 30 seconds. But it's all played in. It's obviously the big Villa goes up. They go 4-2 up or 4-1 up. Then they drag it back. It ends up on a draw. But what I love is, me and you, obviously, I don't know if a lot of people know this. We have another a few podcasts. One of the podcasts we've been doing recently is we're doing The Office, David Brent, the UK Office, called Back to the Office. It's out there on all podcast catching app, guys, by the way, just to throw in the plug. But we're releasing an episode every other Monday, and we're on series 2, episode 3 is our most recent episode. And we love David Brent. We love the way it'll pan to him when he does something so cringeworthy. And what I loved about Jake, Dave, twice they went to him. One after he kissed for 30 seconds, and he looks at the camera. David Brent he's got the same probably height as Ricky Gervais, stature, and he's sort of crumpling down in his chair. His stature's really like within himself, like I've met. And he went, well, the thing is, it's a game. And I like to win. And I'm like, fuck off. That is David Brent 101. And then later on he went, well, I've told Lib that if it's a game, you just go for it. And I don't know why, Dave, it just reminded me of The Office. I was like, mate, it's a game. I get it. And Lib was fully aware that you are the smallest guy. But then obviously, it was the smallest girl as well, Dave, and she kissed him like it was almost like fucking Marty McFly kissing his mum in Back to the Future, wasn't it? She was proper getting the ick there, and she proper saw her ass, and she's like, and he's probably sucked her toes as well, and it wasn't even him, to be fair, it was Liam, wasn't it? So
yeah, I thought that was weird. I thought Jake would be right there at the front of the queue, but the thing is, Chris, with the old sucking of the toes game, they've all got trainers and socks on. It's like
minging. Oh, that was minging.
It's almost as bad as the food game, isn't it? It's like, it'd be all salty and horrible.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, because he whipped off her trainers, Lily's, and then he's there going for it. I know Chloe ended up with doing her, but she didn't have any shoes on. So at least you've not got that fucking salt effect going on in your mouth.
Chloe comes out with the occasional line, and she was saying like, I feel sorry for the boy, my feet aren't that nice. I don't know if anyone's are. Their feet, aren't they? But well, I guess Jake has a different perspective.
But, Dave, he gets a fucking lob on it. Fucking anybody's fucking tootsies by the look of it.
but you're right. Just going back to the comment about Jake, it was like it was the moment, the episode we've just done, wasn't it, where Brent's going about. He gets told this name from the past, and he goes, "Oh, old Cockles, the old cock." Ask him about his grass stains on his trousers. Not when he's right. Not when his wife's around, though. And then he just suddenly realizes the camera's there and just looks at the camera and is like, yeah, and changes the subject. It's almost like Jake, isn't it? It just becomes very, very aware suddenly the cameras are there and thinking, how is this bit going to be shown? Is it, how is it going to be received? So, yeah, I don't know. I think from what I've seen now, he's definitely playing that game. He's definitely making a play to, win out in the end. So I think this will cause a bit of drama. Liberty's obviously not going to be happy about it, but on the flip side, it's kind of excusable. It is a game. It is a challenge. So, they might have even discussed that about, kissing people in the challenge. So I think it'll create a bit of drama tomorrow, but not a massive amount.
No, we'll see, Dave. I agree. So, Dave, we've had a couple of emails and we have a new Patreon. So let's start with the emails. So the first one is from our good friend Karen, and she's entitled Jake and Liberty. Hi, guys. First time writing this season, although have been listening to you as usual. Find this year it's a bit stale and haven't had much to say. But listen to today's podcast and you've finally said what I thought for a while. Jake won't stray on Casa Amor because A, he's playing for the money and knows he's got a sweet, well-liked girl in Liberty. And B, none of the girls will even touch him in Casa Amor. And that's not because they think he's in a relationship. And that's not because they think he's in a relationship. Hugo will also remain single as he's not like the cute Dr. Alex. He's just a single weird guy. Who's not Stephen Hawking's, Dave. Anyway, so Chloe, can't stand the way she talks. Am I the only one? Faye, I have mixed feelings between nice or shit stirrer. I think Liam will remain single, but Millie will not be happy when she sees the footage of all the kissing. Keep up the great podcast. Brilliant as always, Karen. So that's a great email, Dave.
That's awesome. And I've got to say, just that point about Jake, she's right. We still haven't seen anyone go for Jake. And we've seen it in the past. No one gives a shit if you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. It's like if you're chatting and then hit that connection. But we haven't really seen Jake be properly tested. I think it's a heightist thing, Chris. I think if he was a foot taller, I think the girls would be well
male,
after him.
Dave, wouldn't it? We all know what happened with Thunder Lips, don't we? Rocky 3 Day.
Yeah,
male.
fighting the ultimate meatball.
Meatball, yeah, exactly. He's a meatball at the moment. But anyway, so this one's from Sarah, Dave, and it's a great email. Hi, guys. Love the podcast. Not want to shit on other people, but I love this unfiltered podcast compared to the official podcast. So basically, Toby, when you rewatch the first episode, literally said, I'm a kid in a candy shop. So why is anyone surprised by his actions? I am Team Hugo. Men, when they are so young, need to be called out. I don't know why. I just love him. I thought Jake was done until I realised he's playing the Casa Amor puppet strings. He's encouraging everyone who has more public votes than him to cheat, which is absolutely correct. Lib and Jake would never win Love Island, and Jake knows this unless he encourages all the other boys to crack on. Although I thought Jake was dumb, I was proved incorrectly, and he has overtaken Lucinda and really overtaken everyone else. If Liam does shit, I'll hate men forever. Let's watch this space. Give Hugo my number, Sarah. So we will do, Sarah, because you might be the only one that he gets with in this experience. So be on standby with your case, just in case. But no, brilliant email, Dave.
It is, and I don't hold out much hope for Liam putting up a good defence, to be honest.
No, I don't.
So it's not looking good, is it?
No, it's not. And I think, look, at the end of the day, I love the fact that we have different people's perspective. People don't like Hugo, some people do. That's life, Dave. It's like anything. You have friends and things like that. So no, really, really good. So Dave, we've got our newest patron is Amy. So welcome, Amy. Thank you for supporting us. Patreon.com/CD Realitycast. We really, really appreciate Amy. Roll call of honour, Dave. So as I said, we've got Amy.
Just before you go into the roll call of honour, sorry to stop you in your tracks there. So Amy did send us a message on Patreon as well. And she said, thanks for keeping me entertained. Been listening since the beginning. Enjoy the podcast more than the bloody show. It just feels like a car accident I can't turn away from, despite promising myself every year. I know that feeling. Great to get some commentary from some other cynical 40-somethings. I'm an episode behind. Proper made me laugh, you discovering that Millie and tall Welsh dude, Liam, whose name I can't remember, might have met before. It was like hearing someone discover Father Christmas wasn't real. Proper outrage. Hope the investigation into the crime goes well and keep up the good work.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Amy, the crime bureau shut after fucking a couple of hours.
The crime bureau was playing FIFA.
Yeah, I'm shit. So sorry. There'll be no crime solved on my watch, Dave. Anyway, a roll call of honour. That's a brilliant message. Thank you, Amy. Amy, Zoe, Joanna, Helen, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Hayley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafsson. So thank you so much to everybody, guys. I really, really appreciate your support. Please get over to Facebook as well. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Get over there, join. We'll approve you. And let's talk about this show because it's just getting spicy. Exactly what we like, Dave.
Absolutely. So we get to see a little bit of tomorrow night, and we get to see that, they're dropping in, was it a postcard or a newspaper? Yeah. It was last time, wasn't it? So whatever it is, there's going to be some incriminating pictures, and that's going to create a bit of drama. And as we've seen on this, and also the likes of Temptation Island, that gets people to question why they're being so damn faithful and maybe go and explore some other relationships. So, Chris, honestly, I can't wait.
Oh, mate, honestly, I'm so excited. And I think a lot of the criticism of the girls in the OG villa is correct. I think Terence and Messi saying they said that how boring they are. I agree that, and he's not the only one. There's a few say they need to let loose, don't they? Not take it so serious. And if they're playing the game, then you get it. They're not going to make the guys look bad anyway. I mean, the guys are doing they're making themselves look bad all on their own, Dave. So I think everyone just needs to fucking let loose. Get some more Prosecco in there and we'll be fine. We'll have all sorts of people cheating.
we love it, don't we? We vilify them when they do. But, when they're just being dull, when they're not exploring relationships and being a bit fucking naughty, we're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Entertain me. While I'm sat here, like a Roman emperor with my grapes and stuff. Dance.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. Brilliant. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye now.